Artists, storytellers, beatmakers, these are the latest news, deals, and free plugins from the music production world. Must-have plugin alert. This is one of the best plugins I've used in 2024, and I have a coupon code for it as well. It's called Eternal Arps from the people over at Pitch Innovations who won the MIDI Innovation Award for their past plugins. Eternal Arps solves the problem of boring, typical arpeggios, and it does so in a musical and inspiring way for any genre of music. This is one of those tools I think you'll reach for when a beat or song needs some added flavor, and it's good for beginners and experts. Its simplest function is giving you unique repeating arpeggios. This goes well beyond the typical arpeggios found in your DAW or on a keyboard, or even some of the best instrument plugins out there. Now, Eternal Arps is kinda two plugins in one. It's an instrument. They've included some nice sounds in this for some instant gratification. Or you can use it to trigger any other plugin by routing the MIDI or loading other plugins directly in Eternal Arps. I like that they did this because it gives you some options. Once loaded, just choose a preset or roll the dice, and you've got arpeggios with interesting chords and rhythms. And you can adjust the scatter and variation. You can choose 5 patterns for quick changes and use key switches to switch them up. You have 3 modes. Trigger lets you play with one finger, and you can select the chord. The sequence mode lets you select a sequence of chords that will then play through when you hold a note, or the change will be triggered when you lift your finger and play another note. This is such a great idea, and this mode itself inspires new songs. The live mode lets you play your own chords on a keyboard and applies the interesting ARP combos to whatever you're playing. I think they went the extra mile with this plugin. They could have just given us the MIDI ARP feature, but they went and added sounds. They added the performance tool, sequencer, key switches, and even MIDI capture. Yes, you can capture the ARP notes and drag it into a track in your DAW. Great features, and again, this is one of those plugins that just solves a problem in an inspiring way. So, any drawbacks? Well, it is a gigabyte install, and I think that has to do with the included sounds. Also, this is not a tool to edit your ARPs in granular detail. There are plenty of ways you can do that, including writing in the notes yourself. This is an inspiring songwriting, production, and performance tool, and imagine triggering a hardware synth with this. Eternal Arps is $49 right now for an intro price. The regular price will be $79, and you can download a free trial to test it out yourself. Now, after testing this plugin, I contacted Pitch Innovations and asked if they could give me a special coupon code for you all. So now you can get an extra 10% off with the code SanjayC24. Link is below. Question of the week. What's the best new plugin released in 2024? Instrument or effect? Comment below with the game changers you found this year. This is the Polyend Synth, the latest music device from Polyend. It's a digital synthesizer with 8 voice polyphony and 3 independent synth layers. You play the synths on a 5x12 grid of pressure-sensitive pads. You'll see the different zones here, each playing a different sound. This design seems to be carried over from Polyend's previous devices like the Tracker and Play. The Polyend Synth includes 8 different synth engine types, from virtual analog to FM, wavetable, and granular synthesis. So you've got a wide range of sounds. Oh, and the pressure sensitivity on the pads is really nice too. Polyphonic aftertouch. And it's also got built-in chords. This is something I wanted on the Ableton Move. The Polyend Synth also has an arpeggiator, sequencer, built-in effects. There's lots here, and if you don't mind playing on pads, this is actually a cool performance instrument. I like the variety of sound engines. The granular engine has burst and cloud modes, and once you get used to the 3-section layout of the grid, it's kind of fun to play around and generate interesting ideas and combinations. Now, I've been playing around with this for a while, and I have to say, if you're new to instruments like this, there is a bit of a learning curve. Some simple things like changing up the polyphony when you load a pad, not as intuitive as I hoped. And the navigation between screens is not as fluid as I'd like either. It's easy to get lost in some of the screens or figure out where you are. Once you get the hang of it though, you'll be switching around quickly. You've got MIDI and USB ports, and they've included an adapter for stereo line outs. At $499, I actually think this is an inspiring and fun gadget to make music with. Remember though, this is a performance device, so it's not really for multi-track recording. The Polyend Synth is available to order right now. I'll add links below. Hey, if you haven't yet, make sure you watch my Black Friday deals video. This is the first of 2 videos dedicated to the best deals and free plugins available for Black Friday. Some of the deals and freebies are limited time offers, so don't miss out on that video. It's the last one I posted, and I'll link it below as well. Teenage Engineering has just announced the OPXY, a groovebox that combines the best features of the OPZ and OP1 while adding some new capabilities. The OPXY is designed as a successor to the popular OPZ, but it takes the concept further. I'm hearing some complaints about the look, but I kind of like this black aluminum finish with the OP1 buttons. And check it out, it has a screen. This is not a tape-style device like the OP1, but a sequencing device like the OPZ. They've included more CPU power, a multi-synth and sampler engine, and a gyroscope as well to add effects by just moving it. Pretty exciting, but get your wallet ready. It's going to cost $2,299. Let's move on to the next story. Logic got a small update with a big feature this week. Well, a few features. The one that's most useful is the search for plugins. Yes, no more scrolling to find the one plugin you're looking for. Long overdue for Logic folks. They've updated a few more other things, including the ability to reorder channel strips in the mixer by just dragging them, and they've also added a new reverb plugin called Quantec Room Simulator, which they're calling the most acoustically accurate reverb ever created. It's actually created from the exact algorithms from the Quantec QRS from the 1980s. And they incorporated the yardstick model as well. There are other small updates to Logic 11.1 as well, and of course, it's free to existing users. Heritage Audio has released a new plugin. Yeah, we know them for their hardware, but they seem to be slowly entering the software game as well. This is Successor, an emulation of their hardware compressor with the same name. It's a diode bridge compressor. It's a specific circuit of diodes that creates compression by applying variable attenuation to audio. What that means is it's going to give you a warm colored sound. If you watched my video of the i73 interface from Warm Audio, I told you about plugins that come with the i73. Well, now you get this Successor plugin as well, and it runs on the i73's internal DSP. It looks like they're really betting hard on their plugins lately. Let's see what they bring us in the future. Oh, and you can also purchase a native version of this plugin for $99. Before we get to a last story, a word from our sponsor. Are you thinking about putting your music out there? Well, DistroKid is a simple and fast way to get your music onto Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, pretty much everywhere. And DistroKid collects earnings for you when anyone plays or purchases your music. It's simple to use and includes tools to help you build your audience. I've created 2 videos on DistroKid that'll probably answer any question you have. You can watch them right here, and if you're ready to sign up, use the link below to get 7% off your first year of membership. Universal Audio's Gen 2 Apollos were announced a couple weeks ago, and they've now given us the biggest feature, SonarWorks Sound ID integration. And get this, it also works with Gen 1 Apollo X's as well. So the SonarWorks integration gives you the ability to create a monitor correction profile with SonarWorks software, and then save that profile directly to the Apollo console software to apply to your sound output. So you don't need to be running SonarWorks software anymore, and you can save settings for your studio monitors and your headphones. This is super useful and probably something many of you will use if you've got the Apollo X. One thing to note is that you need a Sound ID license from SonarWorks to use this feature, and the $80 Apollo add-in license as well. If you purchase the Apollo Gen 2 recently, you'll get the add-on feature free until December 31. Now, I know some of you come here for freebies all the time, and here's the most important freebie news you're going to get this week. There are multiple new free plugins in my Black Friday video I released earlier this week. Go get them because some of them are only available for a limited time. And wait, there are more coming in my next Black Friday video, so stay tuned. For those of you who made it to the end of the video, I have one more exciting story. This channel is getting closer to reaching 500,000 subscribers. We're at 491,000 right now, and when we hit 500K, I'm planning a massive giveaway. And I've already talked to a certain someone about giving away something epic, something you won't find on Plugin Boutique or Guitar Center. Stay tuned, and of course, subscribe, hit the notification bell button, and keep making the music you love. I'll see you soon.